Darkcast Network. The light shines brightest on our indie podcasts.
Today, how's your day going?
It's going fine, I guess, right now so far. Just trying not to fucking die of heat stroke.
It is really hot.
Look, it's gonna get hotter. It's only in the 90s right now, so yay, summer's coming. It's not even summer yet.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be hella hot this summer. I'm out there trying to get my beds ready. I got some pepper plants from Garden Club this past weekend.
What kind of peppers? I
got a jalapeno, and a serrano pepper. And I already had a bell pepper in the yard and a just a red chili pepper or whatever, and an eggplant. And I had it in my bed, and my bed needed more soil. So I was like, son, you're going to have to sack up. So I dug up the plants, the pepper and the eggplant. I dug them and put them in like pots temporarily. Added more soil to the bed, kind of raising it up and adding more nutrients and stuff. And then I replanted them all pretty. And then I had some pickles, cucumbers. I'm growing pickles. Some cucumbers that I started. So I put those in the bed. So my front bed is ready for, production to get some food.
In the front yard?
No, in the back of the, I have the H.
That one.
That front bed is ready. The bed in the back, the one in the middle, I'm going to plant some okra in there because I want fried okra this summer. I just want to eat fried okra all day.
Yeah, that's a tasty treat.
Yeah, it's really nice. And so I'm going to get that bed in order, and then I have to get the back bed cleaned out. There's just a bunch of weeds back there, but it's like all compost because there's all kinds of worms and stuff in there. Worm castings, I mean. So I just need to fill up the bed and stir it up a little bit, add some nutrients, and get that bed pumping. I think I can do more like lettuce back there, like lettuce and leafy greens, because it gets a lot of shade from the wall. So, yeah, it's time to start growing your own food. Shit's too expensive.
Look, I feel like it's going to be even expensive to grow stuff because the water situation is fucked up. The gas situation is fucked up. So, it's just, everything's fucked up.
That's what I'm saying. Stay at home, grow your own food. Don't drive to the grocery store. Walk into your front yard, your patio, your backyard, your windowsill, wherever. You can grow anywhere. You can grow lettuce, make yourself a sandwich or a salad. Grow some tomatoes. Grow some peppers, grow some cucumbers, grow some onions. My onions look amazing. Can't wait to bitch, I got my own onions. I only have 8, so it's not going to survive. We're not going to, be living off onions for a long time. But I got garlics growing too. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to say damn the man.
Damn him to hell.
Did you get some stuff packed up or cleaned up at your house like you wanted to last week?
No, I packed a box. I packed one box.
Okay.
Which I guess is progress for me. So I'll probably end up packing some more things. I just packed up stuff that that I'm not using, that printer paper and shit that was under my...
I could use some printer paper. Can I buy it from you?
It's not, it's like...
Cardstock?
Yeah, sort of. It's not regular printer paper. It's thick. It's that thick shit. That's pretty much it. I wanted to clean up the shit that's on the side of the house, all that freaking trash that blows into my yard when it's windy and a trash man goes by.
I had so much trash in my yard this week. I was like, who the fuck?
Exactly.
And I
Exactly.
I was looking at addresses on the mail, and it came from who fucking knows? I was just I don't even know this street. What is this doing in my yard?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one of the, pitfalls of living in a windy place and trash day.
That and like, cause the house faces, what direction is it facing? Like it gets me turned around because the sun rises on my window. So my bedroom window faces east. And then, so the house faces west. And usually, like, every other house we've ever lived in has been in, like, a north or south facing house. Mm-hmm. Well, my house faces west. So it's weird. And I get turned around. And I'm like, and the wind always blows in that fucking direction. So there's always trash in my yard. Always. Like, my house is the trash collecting yard. And I'm like, how the fuck does nobody else have trash in their yard? But it collects right in that corner where the gates meet. The fences meet. And it sucks. So I have to go, like, clean it up. So that's about an hour's worth of work that I have to do outside. That hasn't happened yet.
Wow.
Yep, exactly. It's that.
I feel like life is funny in the fact that, like, certain shit that you never really thought about needing to be done has to be done all the fucking time. There's always upkeep, there's cleaning, there's groceries. I mean, like groceries, but feeding people, what's for dinner, figuring that shit out, doing laundry, keeping your home clean. It's just like the fucking hamster wheel of life, of things that you will just have to continue to do.
Yeah, it sucks. They were talking about how on the radio, they were talking about, I guess there was a survey said something like, I think it said like 70% of millennials wish they had, they could clone themselves. Mm-hmm. And because they would clone themselves and so they could have a personal shopper, personal assistant, somebody to clean their house, somebody to, do all this stuff. I'm just like, it sucks. It sucks. There's way too much to do. There's not enough time to do it. Like, I really wish I had a meth habit and I wish I knew where to get meth.
Don't wish that.
So I could at least
don't put it in the air.
Be busy doing stuff that needs to be done.
Meth shit though, like tweaker.
Well, I would face. I feel like if I could get it done, like I would be cleaning. Like I would just focus on it instead of like, I'd rather just watch TV. Like I feel like I would be doing stuff, stuff that needed to be done. Anybody know where I can get some meth?
Oh my god!
I think I said crack before, but I don't want crack.
You don't want crack.
Yeah, no, I don't want crack. I think I'll try some meth and see what happens.
Isn't meth and crack
Breaking Bad?
Kind of like, oh, okay. It's just a different version of the cocaine that you
No,
made.
meth is not cocaine. Meth is crystal methamphetamine.
Oh, okay.
Cocaine is coke. Crack is cocaine.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
But, yeah, like, one of those productive drugs. Well, I don't think, crack's not a productive drug. People sell their kids for crack. So, no, we won't do that. But some meth. Anybody know where I can get some meth?
She's kidding. It's a joke. She's kidding. You can either clone yourself or meth. So, just to be productive and get all the things done.
I wish I could clone myself. But then I'd have to deal with me. I would have to tweak some attitudes.
You have to lobotomize a few of your clones.
Just do what I say and just don't say anything.
Because you'd be like, no, why do I have to do that? No, how come you aren't doing it? And you got a bunch of yous just sitting on the couch crocheting and shit. We'll think of other options.
That's what I'm like, or it'll be like, what was that movie? Multiplicity?
Multiplicity, I was thinking that.
Where they, like,
Michael Keaton.
The clones just get dumber and dumber as you clone.
Oh, yeah.
As you continue cloning.
Well.
To the point where they're just stupid and they don't know.
The dumb one, she slept with the dumb one at the end or something like that. He was just like running around. She had sex with all of them one night. Like, Like the wife did, because I guess they were like trying to get their spark back or something, and she was like, "Again?" I remember that movie. I loved that movie, Multiplicity. I love how we really reference a movie or something every episode.
Does it? Is it?
We do. You don't listen, so you don't know, huh?
That's funny. All right, whatever.
Just saying. I'm Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Brandy Fleeks.
And this is Book of Lies. The podcast.
It's both bitches.
Hello, listeners. How are you guys today? Thank you for joining us. There's lots of options out there, and you decided to listen to us, so we love you so much. I want to give a big shout out to our patrons. We love you guys. I am supposed to have a list so I could say everybody, but let me think. I've got KT, OT, Ken, Kathleen, Tara, Amy, and Carol. So I have something special that I'm going to be sending out to the patrons this month.
Is it candy?
Check it out.
Oh, this is fun. Why is it laminated?
So Jamal, my husband, is hosting a golf tournament for his birthday. And so he created this thing, and he put us down as sponsors for the, it's just on there, you know, so he has like badges for the boys while they're out there. So these were some extra ones that I asked him to laminate for me so I could send to the patrons because it has our info on there. Okay. It's a future event that you guys are virtually invited to. Yeah, so I'm going to be mailing our patrons out one of these, so something fun for you guys to have. Well, you know. Anyway, hey, guys, yeah, thank you for being here with us again. Thank you for listening. If you aren't already, you can go ahead and connect with us on social, on Twitter at Book of Lies Pod, on Instagram and or Facebook at Book of Lies Podcast. You can visit our website, bookofliespodcast.com. There you can find all of our previous episodes. We have 158 of them to titillate your ear holes. Brandy, what are we talking about today?
This one's kind of sad. It is about a guy who was on TV by the name of Scott Menaged. He was on a show called Property Wars.
I know what you're talking about. I see. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so of course I was watching my streaming shows, and I turned on American Greed, and this episode caught my attention.
I looked at it too.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Okay. Well, this guy, Scott Menaged, was on there for a season, and he's a real piece of fucking work. So Scott Menaged was born in New York to an Israeli-American parents. His father, whose name is Joseph Menaged, also got in trouble recently, last year.
Really?
Was convicted or charged with bank fraud. I didn't get too deep into what he did, but he was charged with bank fraud. I don't know if he was convicted or what. But apparently he, also had some sort of business dealings and was able to come up with capital for Scott to do what he did, to begin his business. So, at the end of the housing bubble, after the housing bubble collapsed, people started to get into the house flipping business. So Scott moved to Arizona, and he decided that was what he was going to do. He got into the house flipping business, and they were able to buy properties for super fucking cheap. They were buying houses that would have cost, or had originally cost $300,000, $400,000, brand new houses that were only like 2-3 years old. Mm-hmm. They were able to buy those houses for like $100,000.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So, all these houses were being foreclosed on. And so how when a property goes up for auction, it has to go to court. And so they would literally go to the steps of the courts in Phoenix and buy houses just on the steps because people were trying to get these houses out of their possession. And so, if they were able to buy them, they sold them to him. So people made a lot of money flipping houses at that time. Scott's a dick. He's a fucking dick. He makes enemies. He is loud. He is kind of aggressive, a bully. And so he would be overbidding people on houses that, you know, they were trying to get from on Property Wars. So he, you know, if one guy's bidding, you know, say you're bidding $138,000 for a house, he'd go, well, make it 160. So he would basically overbid people trying to get houses. Yeah. And he was being an asshole. He would also buy houses at auction and flip them, of course, for a profit. So a profit. So they would make, I don't know, like $1,500 on a property, depending on how much they paid for it and how much it sold for, whatever. Mm-hmm. But they were buying 10 to 12 houses a day. So they were making a lot of money.
Wow, a day.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot of money.
Right. He had one guy that he went into business with. And so together they would be buying all these houses and flipping them and making money. Well, the guy, I forgot what his name was, but it doesn't matter. He apparently made a bet with Scott about, Scott was like, I'm going to climb this mountain, some mountain in Arizona, Saddleback Mountain or Camelback Mountain, something like that.
It's like $100 bet, right?
Yeah, bets him $100, and Scott's like, I'm going to climb this mountain, or I'm going to hike this mountain. The guy's like, oh, no, you're not going to make it to the top. I'll bet you $100 you're not going to make it to the top. Well, he sees him, a couple of days later. He's like, so did you do it? He's like, oh, yeah, I did it. And so the guy pays Scott $100. A couple of weeks later, he runs into an employee of his that was with Scott during the climb. And so he asked him, hey, did he ever make it up to the top? And he's like, no, he didn't. So the guy's like, Scott, what the hell? You ripped me off for $100. Like, you stole $100 from me. Yeah. And Scott's like, no, I paid you on one of the deals. And he's like, oh, okay, which deal was it? And he's like, I don't remember. So that at that point, he was like, okay, cool, pack your shit, get out of my office. I don't want to do business with you, because if you'll steal $100 from me, you'll steal tens of thousands of dollars or whatever, $100,000 from me.
A lot of money.
Yeah, he's like, we're working with too much money for me to be fucking trying to trust you with all this money, and you're going to fucking take $100. That's ridiculous. And it is ridiculous. Like, what the hell?
Yes.
So, Scott, though, he's, they're making money on all these deals, and he's living a lavish lifestyle. So he is buying houses for himself. He's buying cars. He's taking trips internationally, and he's, presenting himself as basically a real estate tycoon, sort of. He has a freaking multi-million-dollar house in Phoenix that has a fucking the backyard is enormous, and it's got a lazy river in the backyard. Like, what? They showed a picture of it. I was like, that's crazy.
You crazy, girl. You crazy.
Like, can you imagine the water upkeep alone in Phoenix? It's the middle of the fucking, like, you think we're in a fucking drought. Scott's, he's making money on houses. He decides to go into business, to, I guess, have multiple streams of income. So he decides to start opening furniture stores in the Phoenix area. And he's taking out ads on his furniture stores, and he's spending money like crazy. He's eating, at nice restaurants, and he's, living like he has a fucking money printer in his house, pretty much. Mm-hmm. He also enters into a business relationship with a guy named Denny Chittick, who owns a hard money lending company called Densco. And he borrows millions and millions of dollars from Densco at 18% interest.
Wow!
Right.
Wow.
Because apparently hard money is the type of business where you loan large sums of money, but you also charge a lot of interest, like 18 to 20% interest.
Yeah.
So if I'm borrowing $1 million from you, what is that? $200,000 interest?
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. So, yeah, 18% fucking interest.
Or at least, I guess it would be like $180,000. But that's a lot of fucking money.
Right. Right. So he's borrowing this money, and he's telling Denny that he's, acquiring all these houses via auctions, and that he's flipping them, and he's able to pay the interest off. Mm-hmm. So, Denny thinks it's all good. Well, something happens, and, so with Densco, he also he makes them he gives them the first deed of trust on the houses that he's buying. So that means that if something should happen, they can be the first to collect money off the house if it forecloses.
Right.
He goes to Denny and he's like, so my cousin came and he's supposed to be running my business, but he stole $5 million and took off and ran away. Oh, shit. So now he owes this man $5 million. And he's like, but I can make it back. I just need more money from you so I can buy some properties, flip them, and pay you back. Denny's like, sure, okay, yeah. Okay. We'll enter into an agreement. So they enter it into an agreement called a workout agreement. They call it a workout agreement, where he lends Scott more money. It's still at that 18% interest, and he's expected to be paid back in full. While this is going on, though, at his furniture stores, he is opening lines of credit for people via his merchant account. Because you know how, like when I worked at the furniture store, we would get people would want to come in, they would want to, buy furniture, and we offered a zero down, no credit check financing option through some company, some
third-party merchant.
Yeah, but his is through Wells Fargo. Mm-hmm. So he would open lines of credit for people and then, proceed to sell them, whatever furniture it was. The issue was that the people that were getting the loans were dead. He was opening loans for deceased people. So he would go to the obituaries, get the names of deceased people, somehow get their, information, social security, numbers, birth dates, address, things like that, open lines of credit, use that line of credit, making receipts saying that they bought a couch or a bedroom set or whatever, and pocketing the cash.
What a dickhole.
So he's not selling furniture, he's just giving himself the money.
He's opening up lines of credit and...
he's committing credit card fraud, basically. Yeah. And identity theft.
Yeah. It's like grave robbery, pretty much.
Even if you're deceased, it's still identity theft. So he's doing this. And the IRS, somebody tips off the IRS that there's some hinky shit going on at his furniture store. So they start investigating him. So there's an open investigation with the IRS. He doesn't know this yet, but the IRS is looking into him and his dealings and what he's doing. And they see what's happening, because it's like crazy how many people have these lines of credit that aren't alive anymore.
Right.
And he's also paying off the loans, like not paying them off, but he would pay $100 on that.
Make a
loan.
few payments.
Right, because, again, it's all through Wells Fargo. And if Wells Fargo's like, okay, this guy's issuing all these loans at this store and none of them are being paid back, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So, in order to keep the bank off your back a while, you make a payment or two.
Fraud shit.
But he wasn't obviously doing it well enough, because they got fucking wise and they were like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. So, he's ripping off dead people. He's ripping off banks, because he ends up basically getting about $2 million in those loans from the banks.
What is he doing with this money?
He's funding his lifestyle. He's driving expensive cars. He's living in a house with a fucking lazy river in his backyard.
You did say that.
He's flying to Israel, because he's Israeli. He's flying, Israeli-American. He's flying, back and forth to Israel. And this guy, I believe he's single, so it's not like he's fucking, he has a family to support.
He looks like a sloppy bitch.
Yeah, he's gross. He's overweight. He doesn't look like he takes care of himself. Not takes care of himself, but he doesn't dress like a guy with money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's people who commit frauds that know how to dress. He does not. He looks like a dude that, if he tried to talk to you, you'd be like, why are you talking to me?
He looks like who would drop you a date rape. Watch your drink around him.
He looks like a roofier.
He looks like a Cosby.
Oh, God. Lord.
Check out our last episode. The Successful Predator, Bill Cosby. Seriously.
So, he gets more money from Denny. He gets a lot of money, actually, from Densco. And he's telling him that he's buying all these houses at auction. And he's even going as far as going to the bank and getting cashier's checks and, you know, filling out these cashier's checks for that are supposed to be for the deposit on these houses that he's acquiring. And he's taking a picture of it and sending it to Denny. So, you know, Denny's like, okay, cool. You know, he's buying houses. Like, he's showing me proof that he's buying
doing what
houses.
he said he was supposed to be doing.
Right. Except for what he was doing with the cashier's check was putting it back in the bank account once he fucking sent the picture off. So I got a cashier's check and I took a picture of it and I sent it to you for $150,000, but I'm just going to put that back in the bank account. Because I'm an asshole. Densco has investors.
Yes.
So people have invested their money with this hard money lender because, you know, they believe that it's a good investment. They believe that they're going to make money on their investments. Meanwhile, the company is giving money to this fuckface who's putting it in his pocket and spending it left and right. So Denny's like, okay, dude, so you... At this point, he's owing him $30 million. Denny's like, so what are we doing? Like, what's going on?
Why is he still giving him all this money?
Because he had faith in him. And again, he was making the interest payments.
Okay.
So, you know, he's not paying you. He's just needing more and more money. Denny's like, you know, where's the money? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Scott's like, my cousin stole money again.
I'm my cousin.
My cousin did it again. He stole some of the money from me. But it's okay because some of the money is parked over here on this website. There's a website called auctions.com for house flippers, I guess, where, you know, they can fucking bid on houses. And so he's like, yeah, you know, there's some of the money is, he said, invested with this website, auctions.com. And Denny's like, okay, well, you need to go to auctions.com and you need to tell them that they need to return that money. Like, we need the money. We need the money. Because, again, he's worried about his investors.
Yeah.
And
that's $30 million.
Right?
That's a lot of money.
So my cousin stole some, but some's over here. So, and he's like, you know, meanwhile, Scott is also filing for fucking bankruptcy now.
Oh, God.
So he's filing for bankruptcy, and he's telling him that some of the money's parked over here, and my cousin stole some of the money. So there's all these things happening. And he's telling Denny, but don't mention auctions.com to them, otherwise they'll take the money. Because, you know, when you're filing for bankruptcy, you just can't have liquid cash running around. They want to know what the hell's going on.
Right.
Denny's like, you need to go, you know, to auctions.com. You need to tell them they need to give the money back. Well, they don't. It doesn't happen because there's no fucking money.
What's
the money's gone.
auctions.com?
I don't know if it still exists because I didn't try to go to it, but it's a website for house flippers where they can bid on foreclosed homes.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, that's what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be buying foreclosed houses for cheap and then flipping them for a profit.
And he's on a TV show.
He's on a TV show. This happens after the show.
Okay.
This took place over a span of like 7 years.
Okay.
Because in 2016 is what, like, there's diary journal entries and stuff. So gets to a point where Denny is freaking the fuck out. He's freaking out. He's like, you know, I have these investors. They put their faith in me. You know, they will sue me if you know, you don't give me that money back. Like, he told him, if you don't give me the money, I'm dead. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. So Denny's like, oh yeah, you know, it's parked over here, but you know, nothing ever happens and nothing comes to fruition. So finally, Denny basically gives up. And instead of facing the music with his investors or like even going to court trying to sue Scott for the money that he's owed, he takes his own life. And his kids find him. He has 2 sons, and they find him. So there's, you know, it's like this whole terrible situation happened because this greedy bastard over here is just siphoning another company of its funds. Again, Densco has investors, so the Arizona State Business Council or Board or whatever they're called appoints somebody to, you know, to take care of the investors, to figure out what's going on with this business and, you know, make the investors whole some way, somehow.
Yeah.
They see that there's nobody else that is like appointed to take over the business. There's no other, like Denny was the sole person, and now he's gone. They also, when the investigators come, he did leave a note, and the note basically said, rather than have to go through all of this legal woes and have to tell them, he like apologizes profusely and basically says that he deserves a death penalty, and so he's doing that himself.
Damn.
It's awful. Yeah, it's terrible. He leaves a note, for his sister and a box of cash, like in his parents' washing machine. It's like really, really like weird. So the Arizona State, whatever they are, the people charged with, figuring out what's going on with this business, they appoint, they, I guess, get a judge to appoint a receiver for the company. Meanwhile, the IRS is still investigating Scott over here. So the receiver, is going through all the paperwork from Densco, and they're seeing the name Scott fucking Menaged, Scott Menaged all over everything. And they're like, who the fuck's this guy, and why the fuck's he so involved with this company? The state, who has taken over this, is like, okay, let's look into him. They find out that the fucking federal government, via the IRS, is also looking into him. So I guess they turn over all, whatever they have to the IRS, and the IRS is like, oh, okay, because they were just looking at him for the fucking credit card fraud. They didn't know anything about Densco. So now they've got this bigger fucking case going on.
Yeah. And
Scott, being the fuckface that he is like, oh, well, it's great that Denny's dead because now he can't fucking point the finger at me.
What a dickhole.
Yeah, basically said, dead men tell no tales. Total fucking shithead. The IRS finally lowers the fucking boom on this asshole. And he gets charged with like 42 counts. He gets charged with credit card fraud. He gets charged with conspiracy to commit bank fraud. He gets charged with conspiracy to commit money laundering.
If you want to get your dogs some tasty, delicious, fresh baked pumpkin treats that are great for their digestion, visit beautiesbiscuits.com. We've got turmeric varieties, peanut butter, all natural peanut butter. Parsley helps with stinky dog breath. I actually grow it right in my yard. So this season I am harvesting my parsley.
Yay.
And making fresh dog biscuits for you. And I also have CBD. Great for senior dogs, dogs that are anxious, hip pain, joint pain. Turmeric and CBD is wonderful. I got all the things. Use offer code LIES and save 20% at beautiesbiscuits.com.
Do it.
Because your dogs will love you for it, and so will I.
Yeah, Menaged. He gets charged aggravated identity theft, conspiracy to commit bank fraud, conspiracy to commit money laundering. He has a bunch of charges, but he pleads guilty to those 3 charges: aggravated identity theft, conspiracy to commit bank fraud, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Gets sentenced to 17 years in prison. This is in 2017. So in 2017, he gets sentenced to 17 years in prison.
Ooh.
And he's ordered to repay $3 million in restitution to the investors of Densco.
Okay.
He's still in fucking prison. And hopefully somebody, beats the shit out of him every day. Because he's a prick.
Hopefully someone beats the shit out of him every day.
Every day he needs to get his ass kicked. But he's in the federal penitentiary, so I don't know if he's in Club Fed or if he's in, Killer Fed.
Maybe they put him in Killer Fed.
And hopefully he never sees the light of day again. So maybe somebody will rearrange his teeth. I don't know. He deserves to get his ass kicked every day, though, for sure. And that's the story of Scott Menaged.
Who cares? That sucks, though. Every action has a reaction or something. So it's you've robbed this company of all this money and you
$30 million.
You're giving me the runaround, saying that you're gonna do this, and you're not.
And you're providing me documentation that you're doing the thing you said you're gonna do.
Right.
But you're not. Just like, he was creating fake fucking documents.
Yeah, like I'm attempting or doing my due diligence, or so I believe, and believing you as a businessman and the information that you've been providing me to turn around, and you've done absolutely nothing, and you've literally fucked me.
Literally, he's supposed to be buying hundreds and hundreds of properties. He bought like 50.
Oh my god.
He wasn't even you have the means to do the job and make the money. Why don't you do your job? Like, for real. That's what I don't get. You have this money. You can do what you said you're going to do with it. Fucking Bernie Madoff. Like, you guys get on my nerves. I don't understand it. You can make money, but instead you just don't do what you said you're going to do.
Right. Like, you fake as fuck. Like, you put up this whole facade doing all of this work. Why not actually do the work that you are saying that you're doing?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, God, that's the worst part. Give the business to somebody else that's going to do the fucking job and stop fucking with people. Stop it. It's those type of people that make the world a horrible place. Like, you have to watch out for these people. Like, the honest people have to work even harder to prove their worth.
Yeah.
You know?
Where they're not fucking scammers. Yep.
Golly gee. Yeah, I watched this episode too, and I was just like, damn, that's fucked up.
It is fucked up. It's horrible. Like, he literally, like, drove a man to, like, believe that he had no other recourse.
Except to kill himself. Yeah.
Trigger warning.
Oh, yes. I'll put a trigger warning on this motherfucker. Don't you worry. What you been watching this week?
I haven't actually been watching anything. I'm going to start watching the Tiger King, the Doc Antle story.
Oh, is it available now?
I think so. It looks like it is on Netflix.
Oh, that came out a while ago.
I don't know. I didn't watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
I don't know. I think I just might have tried to watch Tiger King season 2.
Yeah, I started watching that.
I fell off. I just wasn't interested.
Yeah, because it's not. That one is about people trying to get him out of jail, out of prison. Like, people like literally are like campaigning, because remember when
didn't he die?
Who?
No, he has cancer. Joe Exotic.
I didn't get to that far. If that's
no, I'm just saying, like, was there, like, I feel like there was, like, he has, like, prostate cancer or something, or maybe that's why they were trying to get him out, because of a cancer. Go ahead, continue.
I just know that people were trying to get him out. Mm-hmm. That's it. And they were trying to get, before Donald Trump got out of office, they were trying to get him to pardon him.
Oh, he said at his resentencing he will begin radiation treatment for his prostate cancer. He has prostate cancer.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
You know, they try and... that sick shit. I'm old or I'm too sick to serve out my jail sentence.
Okay, Harvey Weinstein.
Fuck that. Go to jail. Like,
go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Like, stop it right now. Okay, so you're gonna watch the Doc Antle story. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what that's about, because that guy's trash. He's a total trash bag. He's fucking running a brothel. He's disgusting. Yeah, Bhagavan, whatever he calls himself, fucking weirdo, has women dressing up as animals and shit.
Oh yeah, he is a straight weirdo. I'm thinking about him now. Ugh. Okay. All right, well, good luck with.
It's not a brothel; it's a harem.
Good luck with that.
I know. I'll probably be like, ugh, watching it, going, ugh, the whole time.
cringe.
Be getting pissed off because he's so disgusting.
Yep.
Basically, he's like, I swear, he's running a cult. He's running a cult and a brothel. I mean, a harem. He has a harem. God damn it! Why do I keep saying brothel? Ugh, he's just gross. He's gross. He's a perv. Like, you can see it. Ugh. Did you watch Joe versus Carol, or Carol versus Joe, or whatever? Mm-hmm. I watched it. I watched that. I binge watched it. Kate McKinnon is such a good Carol Baskin. It's funny.
What is that on?
It's on Peacock.
Okay.
And she's like, she talks with a smile, and it's funny because they show like not episodes. They show
clips.
When she no, and I watched the whole thing, so they show like how they think, I guess, or maybe she told him, I don't know, but like instead of like going and like doing something, like remember how I was like, she's the type of person that probably would wreck a room, like she'd pretend like everything is fine and leave the room with a smile and go in the next room and just tear it up.
Yeah.
She screams into a pillow.
Okay.
That's what she does. So like when she's frustrated or having issues, she like puts a pillow to her face and and I was just like, no, I think she does much worse than
She
that.
has like a
I think she has
a
rage
break
issue.
room where she breaks glasses and
I think she's crazy. She's like, oh yeah. Oh, somebody had asked her on the show, like one of the employees had asked her for a raise or like to be paid because she doesn't pay. Everybody's a volunteer.
yeah,
She doesn't
fuck
pay.
that.
And she like fired him, and so that he's the one that like contacted Joe Exotic about her, and that's when Joe decided to try to put a hit out on her.
Oh my goodness.
It's funny. A disgruntled employee is what it was.
No.
They were like spying on Joe Exotic. It's really funny. Like the situation that happened, wasn't funny, but the show is amusing. So I watched it like when it first that weekend that it came out. I watched it. What are you watching?
What am I watching?
What are you watching?
I don't know.
Housewives. Did you watch the second episode already or what?
No, I haven't. I've been actually watching The Housewives of Atlanta. And
Is it a new season?
it is a new season.
Okay, because that one came out after which one? Went off.
Salt Lake City, maybe? There's like 3 episodes also.
Not Salt Lake City, the other one. Orange County, maybe? I don't know. Okay. Anyway,
Maybe Orange County.
because they never run Orange County and Beverly Hills at the same time, like concurrently.
Yeah, it's usually like staggered. I think it might have been right after Orange County because again, it's been on like for 3 or 4 weeks.
Rihanna had her baby.
Oh, congratulations! She had her today?
Mm-hmm.
Aw. We're breaking news, even though you're going to get this episode way later. Good for them.
Yep.
Good for them. Let's post it on our Insta. We'll break it on Insta. Girl, honestly, I've just been working the business. I have an investor who wants to buy like properties out here. So I've just...
Where's the investor located?
I don't know. I think it's in the Antelope Valley somewhere. I'm not really sure. But I've just been like working with him and sending him properties daily.
He's a flipper?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a flip. So I'm working with that. So hopefully we'll find a home that he wants that we could get an offering on. And maybe I'll just work with flippers. Investment properties. So if you're an investor, want to invest in the Antelope Valley in some real estate, holler at me. Other than that, same old, same old. I'm just really getting in the garden. I think my first grow is gonna be ready for clipping. To go out there and clip the buds, and then I gotta let it cure for another week. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
It's a process, guys. Trust the process, guys. Trust the process.
Whose Mad Libs book is this?
I got it for Kindle some time ago. You can have it if you want it.
I love Mad Libs. Mad Libs are fun.
Well, all you, boo-boo. Other than that, hey guys, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to join us on Patreon, feel free to do that. Patreon.com/Book of Lies Podcast. You can visit our website, bookofliespodcast.com, or you can learn a little bit more about us, listen to our previous episodes. You can meet us on the social medias, Twitter, Book of Lies Pod, Instagram and Facebook, Book of Lies Podcast. And I am Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Brandy Fleeks.
And this was Book of Lies, the podcast.
It's bold bitches.